Hey, do you guys want to see my dongle? I keep it in this box. Here, let me take it out for you. You're ready? Here it is. It's a little small, but it gets the job done. Hey, awesome friends. I am Awesome Danny. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about this guy right here. This is the TempoTec Sonata. This was provided by TempoTec for review. Didn't ask that I say anything in particular, just, give it an honest review. So the Sonata is a $50 dongle DAC, dongle, with two CS43131 chips. We see that DAC chip a lot. So what makes the Sonata different? Let's go ahead and get into that. So just real quick, I guess for those of you that don't know what a DAC is, it just makes sound. Any audio device, any device that outputs audio needs a DAC in order to make the sound. So basically what this does is once you plug it in to a device that supports it, which with this guy has been everything that I've tried, all my DAPs, all my phones, my Steam Deck, my PC. So basically once you plug this into the device, it delegates the job of creating the sound to this. So they'll send the signal in through the USB-C, and on this side you have a 3.5 millimeter hole and a 4.4 millimeter hole. So you'll just plug in your transducer here and then it'll get the sound. So what this allows you to do is just basically, upgrade your sound quality or just have a portable audio solution. For example, a lot of, flagship phones don't have headphone jacks anymore. That's actually something I recently, had to adjust to, because all my life I've had, just cheap, outdated phones. This year I actually shopped around and I was able to get a good deal on, you can see the box up there, the OnePlus 10T. It's the best phone I've ever had. It's just highest specs, best screen, whatever. No headphone jack. So that's where these guys come in. So going over the physical aspects of the Sonata, it feels well built. A lot of dongle DACs feel a little light and kind of hollow, but this one feels well built. It's put together, feels like a solid piece. It's not too heavy, but it's sturdy. And the housing feels like it's made out of aluminum. It's some kind of metal, some kind of lightweight alloy. And then there's a glass, or maybe a plastic, might be plastic, faceplate on both sides, which is one heck of a crease trap. For you guys that don't know, I don't like using the mainstream overused phrases or sayings. They feel overused, overdone, so we use our own here. So crease trap, I forgot what the other suggestions were in one of my videos where I asked for that. So go ahead and leave it in the comments right now what we can use instead of fingerprint magnet. So like I showed you before, we have our outputs right here. We have our USB-C input here. And then on this side, we have two independent volume buttons. This has its own volume. So if you press on these, it will change the volume on here, but not change it on the device that you're using. And then we have a gain switch. This has 3 gain modes: low, medium, and high. Usually it's just like low and high, but this one gives you an extra step in between. And the gain will be indicated on this little ring here. It'll change colors depending what the gain mode is set to. So other than that, you can't do anything else on here. So if you want to like skip track, play and pause, can't do that on here. I know some people like, to have that on the device itself, but I don't mind it. That's going to be a preference thing. But, sometimes we don't get independent volume control. Sometimes we don't get a gain switch. Figure out what's important to you and then make the choice. And then I'll throw some additional specs right here on the screen for you. Boom. There you go. All the nerd stuff for you guys to, read. If you want to pause it, go ahead, pause it. If I'm rambling enough for you to be able to read it without you guys pausing, then congratulations. Maybe if I'm rambling enough for you guys to like and subscribe, maybe, perhaps. So as far as the unboxing goes, it's simple. Usually a lot of these type of devices, they're just thrown in a box and not much presentation. This one had nice presentation. It was on a piece of foam. You open the box and it's like, ooh, look at this. So decent presentation. As far as accessories go, you get a little pouch. Doesn't fit the dongle in it. It's like little, well, it barely fits it. It's just like just a bit too tight for it to be like safely in the pouch. It's about the same length as the dongle itself, but it can carry the USB-C to USB-C cable, which is actually a really nice cable. It feels solid and it looks okay. So you get your little cable, and you also get an adapter. So USB-A to USB-C adapter. That way, if you like, you know, your PC doesn't have USB-C, or for some reason your phone has USB-A, you won't have an issue. Do any phones have USB-A? Was that ever a thing? I mean, I'm old enough, I should know, right? So that's it. You got the box, 50 bucks, open it, and then you have your dongle in your hand. So you're just sitting there with your dongle in your hand, looking at it. What is that like? Well, let me tell you about it. So sound is fine. It's clean. It feels decently implemented. That's usually my take on sources. It feels like they're either going to be clean or feel a little bit distorted. That's what I write off to, like that warmer sound, usually when it's just a little bit fuzzier and it gives it a more textured sound outline. That feels like, you know, the warmer sound. When things are clean, more analytical, it's just because it's a very concise and very sterile presentation. Well, this guy is it feels a little bit, you know, clean. It feels good, well implemented, clear. That also makes sound feel spacious, you know, overall. I use this a lot on, I don't even know where it is, on my Hibby M300, which also runs off a CS chip. The sound on the Hibby M300, and this might be placebo, it's very minuscule. A lot of these things are just very difficult to even be able to distinguish clearly, you know, with zero doubts. But M300 just felt a little bit slightly more compressed or fuzzier than off the Sonata. So Sonata into M300 felt just a little bit cleaner, more spacious, a little bit. So to me, it felt like an upgrade in the overall sound quality with, you know, same cable, same IM, same music, same file, everything. Also, it had enough power to power even like the HD 600 over-ear headphones. It's probably the hardest to drive thing I have on hand. I don't have a lot of, you know, bigger, heavier duty stuff, but a dongle, usually if you're using it, you know, out and about in a portable manner, probably not going to have headphones with you, especially open back. But if you're using it at your desk, then you might need to, you know, either get a different source. If you're going to have harder to drive stuff, you'll probably have an option at your desk, or you're probably just using IMs. This can power any IM just fine. But overall, the value, performance, it feels pretty good. Like, it's built well, it looks decent, you know, it's a nice little sleek and kind of unassuming dongle. So if you're like out and about and you whip it out in public, people aren't really going to notice, you know. But overall, my rec rating is a solid 2 out of 3. Sources, I feel like, are pretty personal. So you have to decide not only on performance, but form factor, features, function, compatibility. There's a lot of stuff to consider, and it's a lot of stuff that's like not even, you know, gradable. It's just, does it work or does it not? It's not something you can fault something for. It's just, you got to look for something that is going to do what you need it to do. Just another option in the sea of the CS43131 powered dongles DACs. I'll leave the link in the description for you guys, but that's it. If you enjoyed the content, please consider liking and subscribing. I am Awesome Danny, and until next time, you stay awesome, friends. Bye.